Mesdemoiselles, mesdames et messieurs, je vous dis bonsoir. Je m'appelle Fama Temot et ce soir, je suis avec LGBT sur LGBT TV Radio.
Get entertained. There's nothing like listening to a Liberty TV radio. It's fun. Get entertained. There's nothing like listening to a Liberty TV radio. It's fun. This is radio like you never heard before. Liberty TV radio. Liberty TV radio. Redefining broadcasting. Listen. You are listening to Liberty TV radio.
Let's go. All right, good morning and welcome to this Buzz Buffet on Elegbete TV Radio. My name is Daffy Matthias. You love to come with the Elegbete on the spot. Sorry for the little delay starting behind schedule. A little bit of early morning emergency made it impossible for us to start the show when we needed to. But yeah, we're here now, and everybody wants to talk about the game yesterday. You know how that game is one of those strange games that you see. So normally preceding this game, leading to this game, there is we don't have a good goalkeeper. The defense line is not good. We have world class attackers. You know, all those things that we see. And as I watched the game, we considered in the 56th minute. As I watched the game all through, and after we considered the goal, and Shemi Ajayi equalized, I sat and I said, okay, how will people react to this one? Is it that we're still going to blame the goalkeeper because, to be very honest, the goalkeeper wasn't at fault for this game. The individual game now wasn't at fault for the goal that we conceded. We created just about enough chances to win this game. We did not. Okay, this is one of those days where, back in my playing days, coach would say it's just a bad day in the office. This is my own diagnosis of the game. But you guys have the right to say your mind, say what you think. It's going to be the game day review. So we're going to review all that went down. What could we have done right that we didn't do right? Was it the selection? Was it the coaching tactics? Was it the players' attitude, the mentality? Was it the grass? Was it the stadium ambience? The fans are not, out in their numbers. What went wrong? Why did we pick up a draw that looked like a defeat, actually? That's all that I want us to look about it. I mean, it's Friday, so Friday will always be Friday, and you can bring up any other talking point that comes to your mind in football and even outside of football, whatever question you want to raise, so that we don't lose the essence of our Friday show and say, oh, because the game we changed. No, we still have all that specs that come with the Friday show. Ask any question, raise up anything. Somebody ask a question. I'm going to respond to that question straight. This one came from Dio. Dio says, hello, Elegbete, do you get nerves before starting your show, having been in the game this long? I used to have nerves, but I don't think I do anymore. I don't even so I have a long time to prepare for my shows. At the end of, like, when the show ends, I start up preparation for the next. I'm looking for the major talking points. I'm accumulating the talking point. What are the possible questions that the audience are going to ask me? What is the areas that you want? Because again, the internet is different. When I was on radio, it used to be very easy because on radio you do not consider the audience. To be very honest, you just go there, do your thing, and you get out. But the audience is as big as you. I mean, they are actually bigger than you in the real sense of it. Because as much as, even if there's no audience, you're still going to do your show. And maybe regular radio helped me with that. But you're always looking at the numbers. Okay, they're going up. Are they liking what you're doing? Are they watching? Are they saying? Yesterday, for instance, we have almost 400 people locked up at once. So it's sometimes there's just that thought not really nerves, but when I was in radio, when I started, there was nerves because I've got like I was a bit cocky or arrogant or overconfident as they say, but I didn't see it that way. And so most times when I go, it was one failure away from being bashed, being hit, being smashed. And again, even when I was right, people were bashing me. So there was a little bit of nerves, like uh you know how when you're walking with people and people tell you, no, don't do it like this. This way you're saying it is good, but just do it for not be so they don't hear. Just do it and romance the ego of the fans. And so that gets to you. I mean, when you hear it every day, you know they say faith cometh by hearing the word of God, like Baba. You know, so you tend to want to pander to that, but then you know what you know in the game, and you kind of like feel like, okay, I've done enough in this industry to be an expert in the game. I might not be an expert in broadcasting, but when it comes to the game, I know a whole lot, right? And I want to speak. So that yes, there used to be time when I had nerves going on the mic, but I think I can't even remember that stopped a long time ago because at some point I just stood my ground and I said, you know what, I'm an expert in this. I know this. I don't go to the doctors and give the doctors my opinion in their medical field. Neither do I go to my lawyer and give them my opinion in their own legal field. I'm not going to go on the microphone to talk about football that I have been part of all my life, that I know very well. I've played it, I've coached it, I've managed it, I've earned this stripe. And begin to have nerves. I'm not going to then I used to use my colleague as an example. I was like, okay, if these guys who did not even play football, who don't know how many players makes in a team, what happens in the dressing room, can come here and run their mouth, then I have authority. But yeah, nerves, I don't know if you're doing the same job that we're doing, but nerves doesn't mean you're bad. Nerves just mean you're human. And it's one of those things that happen. It's like when a guy is trying to toast a girl, no matter how rich or how good you are, there's just a bit of nerves, like you can be rejected. The girl can say no. And then you start doing my mouth smelling, those kind of things. So that happens. Yes, I do have nerves. This one is from Elijah or Elijah, as my Yoruba people will say. Elijah says, when you were coming up in this industry as a sports broadcaster, who were your mentors, especially in Lagos, where you started? Who were the people you looked up to in Nigeria that you wanted to be like in the industry? Okay, so the way I was raised, Elijah, makes it almost impossible for me to even want to be like anybody. I think the two most common words that my mom will always say is be yourself and face your book, right? Face your book or read your book and then be yourself. So I grew up, with the mental toughness of being myself. And you know how that is. They say that the things that you put in children stays longer than the things you give to them or you save up for them. So I really did not have. But then there are two key influence or three. One was not a presenter, but I think is the most prolific writer I ever read. Mumini Alao, Alaji Mumini Alao. I grew up reading Complete Football, Sports Souvenir, Complete Football Extra, and all of those complete communications publications. And there was this thing that he used to do on Tuesdays called Soccer Talk. I don't know if you guys remember that, those of you from back in the day, and Soccer Talk was a very solid pillar in my growing up. Like I read it, and then he was this kind of guy who could predict what would happen. There was one called Banana Pills on the road to France 98, and everything he wrote on that, this thing was written in January, the World Cup happened in June, and everything he wrote was exactly what happened. And for me, I was intrigued. I buy it, I take it, and I keep it. Because when he writes, I'm like, I have this thing, what to happen, make I see, I'll keep it. Like what you do now on social media, when somebody make a post, you will go and bookmark it. And so that's what we used to do. So I go and file it somewhere where it is safe. Nobody will use it, I go clean sheet or, sell them for Igbo people with the buy paper at that time, or Mama Akara, where they sell Akara Yam and the rest of them. But long and short, I keep it. And then the World Cup comes and I'm spreading it there and I'm looking, okay, so this will happen, that will happen, this would happen. And first off, it's about the team selection that he wrote about. And you see, they are going to go back and bring Peter Rufai. Exactly that happened. They are going to do this. Like everything, you start seeing everything like that. And then we got knocked out. Exactly how he said it. So, okay. So I liked it. When I was growing up, I just wanted to be that guy. I wanted to have the clairvoyant power to be able to boldly predict what's going to happen tomorrow or in the future, 5 years, 10 years down the line, and it happens. But then for radio, there were just two people that were magnificent for me. I'm a radio person. I grew up in Warri. Grew up in Warri, practically with like radio. The late Phyllis Blackburn Onogakbo for his reggae time on Tuesday, every Wednesday night. Samuel Fejoku, Tunde Omono there, Terry Maxine, whatever name you choose to call him, and all those that comes in. And then I went to Port Harcourt, Sports Junction, Marvelous Macaulay, Apollo Jr., and ABRV. Then there was the late Bomai Rekesoma who was doing Pidgin English show, and then a whole lot of other. But when I came to Lagos, two people that really got it, funny enough, they're both dead. Two of my heroes on radio were Deji Tinubu, Sports Vision, and Dan Foster, the big dog. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, it was everything about Dan Foster was fascinating. Everything he did on radio was just orgasmic. Whether it's the Redees and the weekly top 20s, whether top 40, sorry, and that goes Saturdays and Sundays, whether it's all the prank calls, whether it's the way he talks, the way he tries to learn Yoruba and say Pele as Bele, a whole lot of things about that Foster. The Foster was the full compendium of entertainment, and Elijah, honestly speaking, those guys were the guys that I wanted to listen to. If I don't listen to them, and this thing I'm saying, I used to get me into trouble when I was in Brilla. Like, so you didn't listen to us, you didn't like the chairman, all those eye service people. They would just bring up the question, like try to set you up in meetings or when we're having like general conversation. I was like, I didn't listen to him, I didn't know him. I started working here before I started listening to music and sports, but these were the guys that I listened to. And to be very honest, I didn't even like Brilla like that because I didn't like the way they were talking. Okay. But it took a bet for me to go there. I was like, the only sports radio station. Like, I'm going to go there and prove to people that I'm better than all these guys. That's what I did. It was a bet that brought me to radio. It wasn't a dream, but hey, I'm living it now. So Elijah, that's it for me. And somebody sent in this question. I don't know how to answer it. Dami said, Mr. Idafe, would you say you're a good husband, a good person, and a good father? And so it's not my place to answer these questions anyway. It is the people who interact or interface with me on a regular basis that will tell you whether I'm good or not. But for a good father, obviously I don't need anybody to tell me I'm a great father. And it's my dream. I didn't have a father growing up, so I knew one of the assignments I am here on earth to do is to be a great father. And I think I'm acing that one very well. I'm acing that one. It's a work in progress. It's not a static walk. But we're supposed to be talking about the Super Eagles and Lesotho game. What's all this Friday vibey? But let's come back and see. So what you guys got for me to say? Super Eagles played against Lesotho yesterday. And then again, the good thing about that group is that all the games that have been played are draws. So South Africa are licking their tongues, and Benin Republic as well. Say, you know what? Let's just win this game now and be on top, and then leave the other people to start pressing calculator, and from here we'll take it on. But then the advantage for us too is the fact that other people drew their game, so there is not too many people ahead. So let me even check the group and use that as illustration to illustrate what I'm saying. The standing. If you go to the Nigerian group, which is Group C, Lesotho are on top because they got a draw away from home. Nigeria is second. Rwanda is third because their game ended 0-0 with Zimbabwe. So Zimbabwe now have the foothold of being in Rwanda, and then they will train continuously there. They've stayed longer there than Nigeria coming in. So it's not something that will be easy for us. Rwanda will also watch Nigeria and see them. I don't know how it will go, but that's just the reality of things. Now, having said that, the good thing is you don't have too many teams that have won games over us. Okay, we still have 9 more games to play. It's 10 games that you will play in this group. And so when you look at it, the only possible outcome that can come out of the South African Benin Republic game is one team winning. But hopefully they draw. I'm not one of those who, I don't want to start pressing calculator, but hopefully they draw. If they draw, it means that everything is even, we're on a clean slate, everybody is balanced. Now, on that strength, we now start taking our next games very, very serious. We have 9 more games to go. in this stretch of games that are going to be played, and we're going to like give it everything. It's sad that we drew, but it's not the end of the road. But you don't want to start your work, especially going to the Nations Cup, where we didn't do well in the last one that we went to. We got knocked out by Tunisia in the round of 16 after topping our group, winning all the games in the group games, and then raising hope and expectation, and we got beaten 1-0, and then we've since then things are falling apart. The centers cannot hold. But it is not all hope lost. I'm not here to motivate or inspire anybody, but it's not all hope lost. Not because we didn't lose the game. That's one. That would have been a disaster. We didn't lose the game. That's one. Two, so there is a possibility of having 3 teams win. That would have been bad. Or 2 teams. Yeah, 2 teams win or 3 teams win. Let's say, for instance, Lesotho beat Nigeria, Rwanda beat Zimbabwe, South Africa go and beat Benin, or Benin beat South Africa. You would have had 3 teams ahead of you. Now, what that means is that you're not chasing only one rabbit in a maze. You're chasing 3 rabbits, because if you go the day you beat South Africa, maybe the other 2 teams that won before would also win their games, and then so you're struggling. So this is a bit not great, but okay. So from the okay position, we're not caught out with the when you have 10 games in the group. Honestly speaking, win 8, you most likely qualify, especially if you can cancel out your closest rival. So we still have the luxury of winning that 8, drawing 1 and losing 1, and qualifying. It's just too early. But again, like I always say, like I was saying to somebody on the radio station that called me yesterday, I said, listen, it is better to even start the group games like this. Now, it is bad to drop points, but it is better to know that, okay, look, the weakest team in the group, supposedly weakest team in the group, came to Nigeria and drew us. Meaning that every other game we're going to play now, we have to buckle up and say, you know what, it's a do or die thing. And somebody said we missed some Victor Osimhen, his energy, his push. Maybe we did. Maybe we did not. There's a whole lot. So that's what we're going to discuss. Let me start from Instagram and see your reaction. You are free, but just don't insult anybody. That one is not allowed. Don't insult anybody, but you're free to vent, to rant, to say whatever you want to say. Don't insult anybody. That's all. Sean Dida, 2020. Sean Dida says, it's so shameful for Nigeria. I don't know what's shameful in football results. And then he went on to say, Sake Pesero is the solution. That's when I talk about Ganatraw. We're there again now. At this same time, some years ago, a few years ago, now we sack Ganatraw. We are there again now. I mean, we should be careful. But let's not forget that Togo and Sudan also drew. I know that Egypt were in the whitewashing mode as they beat Djibouti 6 goals to nothing. And before anybody says if Nigeria plays Djibouti, we will still beat them. Djibouti and Lesotho are similar. We didn't beat them, okay? But hey, we're beating a team in qualifiers 10 goals to nothing before. So let's calm down. A lot of people who went on to play bet. Some play Nigeria to win, some play over 3.5, some people play, the confidence with which you did that. I respect your confidence. Like I used to say, I'm a very confident person, but I think I need to come to you and learn from you. Rajesh is saying, I played first half win, lost the bet. Come see play, say make even win. I don't understand. Sacking should not even come into the equation. Pesero should start what it should finish. I guess that's what you want to say, but you say start what it started. Finish what it started is what you wanted to say. That's nice. Okay, somebody's asking me a question about the Sporting Lagos coach Paulo Fosso. I had a good call to Mr. Gordon Inakena yesterday. So I put a call through to him. Somebody reached out to me like I should call him. So I did put a call through to him, and he was asleep. I didn't know. It was off day. So by late in the night, after the Eagles game, very, very late, he called me, and I would trash the issue. So he told me, okay, I should give him some time. He will resolve it. The interviews will be done, and we'll get access to the team and all that. I mean, what we're doing is for the good of the league. People shouldn't be creating impediment for us. So that is resolved. Jack, that is resolved. Thanks for your follow-up on that. So like I was saying, Democratic Republic of Congo won their game 2-0 against Mauritania, and Egypt won against Djibouti 6-0. The match between Ethiopia and Sierra Leone was a 0-0 draw. And then also in the Cape Verde game versus Angola, I was a bit surprised about that one. Cape Verde and Angola played a goalless draw as well, but Burundi were not in that conversation. They beat their opponent Gambia 3-2, and then they also Gabon also beat their opponent Kenya 2-1. So in Group F, it is Burundi and Gabon at the top level, but Burundi top because of the number of goals that they scored, and I think they distinguished themselves. Algeria were 3-1 winners over Somalia. That's expected anyway. Mozambique, remember Mozambique that we played 3-2 against in Portugal? Well, they were 3-2 winners against Botswana. So that's how that one is in Group G. In Group H, it's different as you have only one game was played. Equatorial Guinea were 1-0 winners over Namibia. I didn't expect that, honestly speaking. I didn't expect that. I won't lie. And the Nigerian, the ranking already, in case you don't know, you have Mozambique up there, Nigeria, Togo, Ethiopia, Angola, and small. So you know the people who qualified. People who qualified for the World Cup, you will know them eventually. Some other matches, there are a lot of matches that will go down today in the World Cup qualifiers, the African zone. So you have Comoros playing against Central African Republic. It looks like same of the same. Eswatini versus Libya, Guinea versus Uganda, Ghana versus Madagascar, Liberia versus Malawi, Zambia versus Congo, Burkina Faso versus Guinea, Cameroon versus Mauritius, and then you have Ivory Coast, the host of the next African Cup of Nations against Seychelles, Mali versus Chad, and finally Tunisia versus Sao Tome and Principe. Would they get another whitewash like Nigeria did to them? What time will tell. Well, tomorrow by 2 p.m., I think we would like to follow that game up. South Africa will be hosting Ghana Traor's Benin Republic. Now, a lot of people are looking at that game with keen interest now. Nigerians are already ordering for their calculator. I know that the best result of that game will be a draw, but South Africa want to win to start the tune, because now they've been giving it on a platter. Like, okay, they know what to do to put their foot forward. Senegal will also host South Sudan, and then you have Niger playing against Tanzania. That's the games that will go down tomorrow. And then the day after that, football is going on everywhere, even aside. The day after tomorrow, you have Burundi playing against Gabon, Mozambique playing against Algeria, Zimbabwe, a Southern African team who drew with Rwanda, would settle down in Rwanda and play against Nigeria. And then you have Sierra Leone playing against Egypt, another one for Egypt to put them 6 points to the good. And Sudan will play against DR Congo. DR Congo gets another win that will put them 6 points to the good. So you know how it is, the way the group is, the eighth group, all the teams that top automatically qualifies for the World Cup. And then South Africa, when would they be playing now? South Africa will be playing on the 21st, if I'm not mistaken. They would, that's a long one. On the 21st, you have quite a massive, long list of teams that will play. And South Africa will play against Rwanda. Yes, that's the game I was looking at for. So South Africa will play against Rwanda 2 days after Nigeria have played Zimbabwe. So it's a must-win for Nigeria. But South Africa, you're just going to hope that Benin Republic. I don't think that South Africa will beat Rwanda anyway. But Benin Republic should show what stuff they are made of and fight for themselves. I would rather Benin Republic beats South Africa or gets a draw. Okay, makes it easy for everybody. We start going. Now, what are the guarantees that Nigeria can even beat Zimbabwe? Jesus Christ. That's the sad part, where we get to a point where we are not even sure of who we can beat in the qualifiers. That's a bit very, very untidy. The Super Eagles that we are, that we currently have is the Super Eagles that we've reached a place where people are even afraid to bet on the Super Eagles. People are afraid to to beat their chest. Well, there are quite a few people who also were in Uyo who reacted yesterday. You heard from some of them, and today you're going to hear from some of them again, and other people just like that. So let's start with Fisayo Dairo, writer by excellence when it comes to covering the Nigerian League. He works with ACL, and they do great job. Fisayo Dairo expresses his disappointment to the very high heavens. But before I go to Fisayo Dairo, let me take this one from Shandida 2020. Say, Pereira is pushing. Is it Pereira or Pesero that you want to write? He's pushing at the senior players in the team. Moses, Olaino on the bench. Experiences matters. Don't just throw foreign players who don't understand African climate of football. Really, Olaino not be foreign player too. Okay. Okay, so corrected himself. Rajesh say the Zimbabwe game will be played on neutral ground in Kigali. But yes, Zimbabwe have been there now. That's what I mean. They've been there. They've been there for like how many days now? They just played the game against Rwanda where they played a goalless draw. So they would have the advantage of having acclimatized and having settled or know the area. So there is a tad bit little advantage on that one. Official AK Udensi say the coach is not good. He's not tactically sound. Do you know that how many times that Nigerians have said this word? Coach is not good. He's not tactically sound. There's one that people used to say all the time. The pattern. Would this coach not get patterned? Okay, well, let's hear from Fisayo Dairo what he's got to say on the match. What his expectations were and how he got disappointed with what happened in the game. Fisayo Dairo, it's up to you now. We're there to lead in this area.
Be there to lead. It was a disappointing game, of course, for everyone because we were playing against Lesotho, ranked around 137th in the world, and I think the players are not showing enough on that. Perhaps they really know the enormity of the task at hand. And when you know the enormity of task at hand, you go for it, regardless of the quality of your opposition. Yes, there could be excuses that the team had a couple of low blocks and they were difficult to break down, but I think we did not do enough to break them down. And it's unfortunate because Lesotho on paper are one of the worst teams in this group. And if you're dropping points at home against them, it is a bad omen for this particular qualifying round.
Elegbete TV Radio. We are not just about radio, TV, or YouTube numbers. We are all about connecting with people and creating a community of great minds and values.
At least Fisayo Dairo did not join the bandwagon of, oh, the coach is not good enough. I had the coach. Wow. But official AK Udensi already set that tune going. And I know in the coming days that it's going to be a common, knowing Nigerians the way I know us and the experience I've had listening to Nigerians react to when we lose game, that's going to be a common thing. But like I say, madness is when you do the same thing repeatedly and you expect a different result. I don't know, but I think we should jettison that idea of God, one result goes bad. We still have a Nations Cup to prosecute. We still have the qualifiers. There's still 9 more games to go. And by my count, there are 27 points up for grabs. And we already have one there, so we could get up to 28. Well, come on, we already qualified with that one. Come on, what's that? We would qualify. But remember, you know, the funny thing is, so I was on Twitter yesterday. Remember when the draw was made, and I said this is going to be the most difficult qualifying group. We just might not qualify. The actual word there was we might not qualify for the World Cup, and people were like tearing me down, were saying things that were very, very rude, to say the least. Now that we just drew a game, I see some of the people, the very same people were insulting me, were very rude and, unreasonable with their comment, not getting angry. I'm like, okay, so what did you see that time that you were insulting me, that you have not seen again, that you're getting angry now? Okay, because there is fact to look at. I have always insisted, and I will keep insisting, that Nigerians are overrating this team. You know, we claim that we have world-class players. The truth is we don't. At best, we don't even have any world-class players. That's what we call world-class players. We don't have anybody in our team that is on the hurricane level. That's world-class. Right? We don't have anybody on our team that is on that level. That's shown it season in, season out consistently. Everywhere he's gone, everywhere he's played World Cup, highest goal scorer in 2018, top goal scorer in England, player of the season. He's gone to Germany now. He's not played up to 15 games. He's already scored almost 20 goals, 17 on the last count. And he keeps doing it game in, game out, irrespective of the group of players that he's playing with. We don't have that. We have at best one season wonder, some player that will play 5 games in the season and be very good, and then after that they will peter out or disappear. We've not really found that consistency, okay? But some of you think that we have world-class player. Since I started watching football in 1986, calculate from that time to now, currently I've never seen goalkeepers as worse as the ones we have right now. But when I said we might not qualify, people took it out and like, oh, I'm enemy of the state, personal non grata, blah, 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 blah. But it is the reality. Well, Sean Dida also said the coach is not good, period. Please, can you tell me one significant match Pesero have won ever since he took over? Okay, we qualified for the World Cup. Did we qualify for the Nations Cup by losing our matches? Because if you're asking me what significant match that is won, he can only play the games that are in front of him, and the important ones is done well. That's my own answer to your question. We're going to the next Nations Cup because he ran the qualifying series and we qualified ahead of the other teams in the group. So if that's not significant enough for you, I don't know. But hey, let's go to Sports Diva Dorcas Koiki. Nigerian Info Port Harcourt, you would have seen her on Twitter. She's got a very lovely voice anyway, like my darling Gwendolyn. But this is Dorcas Koiki. I don't like how she sang. First time I'm hearing her voice anyway, but I've seen a whole lot of her tweets. She's always tagging me. So I thought I should get her opinion on this. And this is what she's got to say about the game yesterday. She was in New York as well. Many people go to New York. Time that I didn't buy that ticket and spend my time. I remember one guy called me from France. I said, guy, are you going to Rio? I said, no. He said, why? I said, well, another minute. Oh, can I send you the money? Can I buy the ticket? And you go to Rio. I think I like it when you go, the content you bring up from there. I said, bros, thank you very much, but I'm going to pass right now. There's something in me, I'm sure he's listening. There's something in me that tells me this game is not going to go the way we want it, and the content might not elicit good return. So I'm not going to go key myself into doing that. Stay down. Follow your instincts. So they say, Sports Diva, where are you?
We dare to lead.
I think that the game yesterday was a very poor performance in general from the team. They lacked the cohesion. In fact, the synergy wasn't there as well. And when it came to being clinical in front of goal, they just couldn't get the decisions right up front, and were lackluster with the chances created. But against the Lesotho team, I thought they should have played better. I thought they should have gotten the necessary result, which was obviously 3 points, but that didn't happen. Hopefully, we get the result against Zimbabwe in the next couple of days out there in Rwanda. But this is a very poor start for Sierra and his boys. If they want to qualify to the very tough group that has the South Africa and the Benin Republic, they will have to do better. But I guess we'll take the 1 point that we've got now. Thank you.
Electric TV Radio. We are not just about radio, TV, or YouTube numbers. We are all about connecting with people and creating a community of great minds and values.
We started that game with Uzobu, that kind of spirit. That we go kill them today. Where them be? Where them day? And when we got to the second half, we now changed our tone to what's it called? Zazu's tone. God, I beg you. Who go help? Yeah, we went from this Lesotho team who them be? We go kill them. At some point, we ask like, God, please, if just God, just give us a draw, just one goal. And you know me, anyhow the goal take on Jaga own goal set, just give us, because we cannot even stand it. You know, sometimes the players give us this impression, oh, we're not properly treated. They put you in the best hotels. They're playing the best grass. I mean, Alex Iwobi will go to Europe now, sit in one small picking podcast and begin to tell you how the pitch in Nigeria is the reason why they don't win matches. Well, they played a good pitch. The Uyo pitch is as good as they come. We're taking care of German technology, everything. But hey, Okolodo na still Okolodo. I'm going to say no amount of pancake will make monkey turn to fine person. Now, so this thing just be. But let's keep it going anyway. Hey, Tolusha Ade, you're there. Why you laugh? Tolu, why? See, I know you as a perfect gentleman, as a very responsible, one of the most perfect gentlemen that I know in this industry. Why are you laughing now? What are you waiting? I don't talk, or waiting sports div I don't talk now. We make you laugh. Please drop your comment. Let me know why you're laughing. Yeah, because this laugh it carry meaning. I don't understand. But let's bring ancestor of the game. Yes, our ancestor, Shaina Acheru, to also bear his mind. Right? Jersey says, Bassi is not a proper defender for me. His pairing with Semi Ajayi will still be exposed more in the better games. And then this is one observation that I have to make. So I was watching the game, I was taking notes, mental notes, and physical notes. And somewhere along the line, Shandida 2020 says, hello, fellow, true talk regarding your point about the pitch. Okay, so I was taking note, mental notes, and I was saying to myself, yes, agreed, Lesotho played the low block, no doubt, but hey, you play tactics that works for you. You're not going to come here and be doing Angie Postecoglou and go and concede 5 goals, yeah? So they played the low block, that was good for them. They work well, you know, they double padded very well. I made it almost impossible for us to create those open chances, and then we had some that we didn't take, like the one that fell to Tawa Woni. God, the Yakubu the ball. But let's even just put this things together. I'm saying that I was watching that game yesterday, and I was tempted to say that the Lesotho goalkeeper gave me, I don't know about you guys, gave me a lot more confidence if I am a fan of Lesotho and I'm watching the game than the Nigerian goalkeeper. But the Nigerian goalkeeper made some great save, fantastic save. There was one chance in the first half that I thought once that ball went in, passed through the defense on the right side, and that guy just pulled the trigger, raised his leg. I was like, this one I go. But amazingly, the one where you both signed, he saved the ball. I was like, ooh, that's nice. That was good. But what I'm saying is, we played against a team that was not controlling possession for 90 minutes, and we didn't win. We're going to play against some other teams that will come head to head with us and say, all die and die. Nigeria, if one die, more die. All die and die. How are we going to win? Because in normal football, these type of teams that sit back, that doesn't plan to attack you, that maybe wait for sporadic counter-attack, one attack in every 15 or 20 minutes, are teams that you should be able to beat. Again, I look at that team and I say to myself, our midfield doesn't really know how to control the game and use the width of the field. At some point, we reduce the size of the field. I don't know if you guys observe it. We're just playing it through, almost through the middle. You know that line in the 18-yard box felt like that was the outside line, and we're just using it very, very narrow. Okay, I don't know if my observation is the same as yours, but you can tell me if I am wrong. I would raise my hands up. So if we would struggle against teams, a team that played this much low block, they defended up to their goal line, how would we play against teams that come out? Again, reverse might be the case because football, again, there are not two games that are the same. We could also play against a team that wants to come out and decide, let's go out and play against them. They are not that good. And then there'll be pocket of spaces who will exploit it. It's possible. My only fear is that every time an attack goes to our goal area, it does look to me like it's a possible goal coming here. Now, I think that Bassi should not be used as a center back. This is my opinion. If you agree. If you disagree, let me know. I think that it should, because he's got good crosses, he can overlap as well. It should be played on the wide area, and we should focus on a proper center back. I don't think that Kevin Bassey is a proper centre back. Like I always say, anybody that is a utility player knows how to play ball. That's my opinion. I might be wrong, but nobody's proving me wrong. Maybe only Garbalawa proved me wrong, but the general is an exception to the rule. The general position and perception is that a utility player is always the weakest link in your team. Having said that, please, if you're watching on YouTube, do well to like this video now. We're not a community together, our family together now. Wouldn't you like what to go well for the channel? Please do that. Just like click on the like button. You know, go give you paralysis for your hand. You know, go give you stroke like me. You know, would you just press that like button and then let the like go up? When we get all these plenty people. Some people will even like I don't come on their like. I don't understand. You like and for you go press you call come on the like. I don't understand. God is watching you people. I for no who talk. I beg. But let's go back. I saw what Tolu just wrote. So let's say we don't have world-class players. Nigerians always overrate this team. But say, Sha, world class or not, we should be beating Lesotho. Do I agree with that? 102,000,000%. Yes. You don't need world class to beat some teams. You don't need world class. If they call me now to go do public speaking for primary school, I don't need to do research. I'll go there, do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, E. Just do some things and then you start talking. You get the attention. Or I'll bring the ghetto boy in me, like they send me now to go to the primary school now to go and speak. Not much rehearsal. I already know what I want to say. I can just say, if Nami eat the rice, Bakara must swallow me, fish must eat me, and everybody laugh and then bring everybody together, get the attention, and then we start. Okay, so you don't know that nursery rhyme. You didn't grow up in Warri. If you grew up in Warri, that's like the most authentic nursery rhyme back in the day. But I know all these Ajabota people don't understand what I am saying. So Sean Dida 2020, he has taken the Instagram hostage. He said, I don't understand why Iwobi was sitting so deep yesterday. Him being a creative and skillful passer would have assisted our striker better. Oh, but again, one pass away, our goalkeeper give Iwobi for center of the defense. Hey, at that moment, I was off the game before, say it's too early for this play. But we escaped because the Zimbabwean, they were trying to kill the bird that was flying past. And they were trying to X the bed, but God saved us from that one. Philadelphia, I say, Baba, I was asking, what are we doing again, as Baba Fenraji had mentioned? Are we really doing it again? That goal from Lesotho, I saw our players crowded at one spot without picking up incoming runs. You are right. Which led to that goal we conceded. I fear for the upcoming games, and let's hope the team improves. I think they will improve. I think I'm having too much faith, and it seems like my faith is also ironic and oxymoronic, especially when the draw was made. I was one of the few persons who said we might not qualify for the World Cup. I'm just optimistic, like, okay, they will prove me wrong, and this is the one where I want them to prove me wrong. After all, Super Eagles are not Tottenham Hotspur, so they can prove me wrong. They can do some things better than I expect them to do. They should just put me to shame anyway. Put me to shame. You go shame. You go shame. You go shame. You go shame. I go rejoice you, Satan. You go shame. Well, before I go to YouTube, there's a whole lot of comment there. Let me go to Ancestor. China Asheru. How do you see that game? Take your time and tell us your view of the game, please, Baba.
We dare to lead.
When Victor Boniface, Taiwo Awoniyi, Kelechi Iheanacho, and Ademola Lookman cannot go behind the Lesotho defense and score, it begs the question, do we always blame the coach? Right? Now, we all agree that we have our issues with Pesero and we have handled the team. But I mention these players again. Victor Boniface, Kelechi Iheanacho, Taiwo Awoniyi, and Ademola Lookman. How can these go behind the Lesotho defense? Just how can they go behind the Lesotho defense? Right? And you look at the players in that starting lineup, Onyeka, Frank Onyeka, Alex Iwobi, they were lethargic, they are boring. In fact, my solution is that the players were not interested in that game. They just were not interested in the game. Some people want to point at the goalkeeper, Francis Uzoho, but surely Uzoho did not stop the attackers from scoring goals. Some want to point at the coach, but surely the coach set his team up to play. What shift did he put in? It was a poor shift. So I'm thinking, right, those players need to understand that they are playing for the Super Heroes and they need to qualify for the World Cup. The team only shows a semblance of a one that wanted to win after the goal was considered. And Terry Murphy came in, Moses Simon came in, we saw blitz of attacks. Apart from that, the team was not serious on the day, not serious on the day. If they continue like this, it's going to be a long and difficult World Cup qualifying race. Long and difficult. I'm hoping the team that beat Zimbabwe away from home, because they need to short of that result, means that it's going to be a long journey to the World Cup. It was a horrible display on Saturday, on Thursday in Rio. A horrible display. I never knew Super Eagles was gotten this bad, but now I know they are this bad.
And Legacy TV Radio, we are not just about radio, TV, or YouTube numbers. We are all about connecting with people and creating a community of great minds and values.
China went to Uyo, and Uyo, one of the finest cities in Nigeria, and he fell sick. Because of the Super Eagles. You can see how laborious he was in passing his message across. Now what the Super Eagles go fit do you with that? It's not easy. Even me self, I feel a pinch in my chest. Like, man, it's not easy. I'm struggling. The pain of watching us. I know back in the day we used to say now when we play against teams like Algeria, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, or Egypt, that would struggle. But when we're playing against all these minors, now never Nigerian body that they say no minors in football, or if not, minors really did for football, as Egypt shows with Djibouti. But hey, over familiarity sometimes they make people do overdo. I remember if I slap you, who tell you say this number is for call? It's not. I'm sure I'm not reading your message. It's not for WhatsApp. It's for call. If you want to do it, call the number. No, I didn't say you should send a WhatsApp. Want to send message? There is YouTube and then there is Instagram. Don't try me this morning. Okay. Having said that, let's come back to the messages. I still have Honor. I'll bring Honor later. The messages. Taiwo Ogunade says, "Good morning, boss. Good morning to you." Michael later. Michael, how now? So, yeah, my guy. That's how the one people. He said, "Good morning, bros. You said it. Nigeria may not qualify for the World Cup if they are not careful. I can't imagine Osimhen missing major tournaments. Who is to blame? Coach, keeper, or players? You answer the question. I am here to moderate. I'm just a moderator. We might not go to this World Cup. This World Cup that millions of Nigerians are preparing to use as the pathway to Japan." Some we might not qualify. So those of you who are putting hope that this is a World Cup that you will use to jackpot, you are saving money already for fan ID, for visa, for flight ticket to US, Mexico, or Canada. Oh, pata. Put that money in investment and try to sell gala on traffic now, because you might not go to that World Cup. Okay, Faith Light says, "Good morning, boss. Good morning to you." Sabigyal, Gwen Stefani. Hey, Gwendolyn is in the building. She said, "Good morning, boss. Good morning to you, fine girl." Taiwo Ogunade says, "Honestly, ever since Jose Pesero took charge of Super Eagles, his only impressive game was against Atome. He needs to be sacked ASAP, get an indigenous coach. Morocco did it and it worked. Do you have the kind of indigenous coaches that Morocco have? Do you have the kind of support, government support that Morocco have? Do you have the kind of system that works for Morocco? I mean, to talk and to get all this. It be like all those people where they say, I I don't want to date a poor guy. I want to date a rich girl, working class girl. You go fee give urgent 5 million, because if you want date a rich girl, one day she will just date one business meeting. You call, hey babe, hey, how are you doing? We just have this business proposal, this thing that we want to do. Can I get urgent 5 million? You go fit. So now be to say what we do. Who are the indigenous coaches? What will look Nigeria? Now that you said it, let's even come to you, brother. Who are the indigenous coaches that you can, on the top of your finger, now point out to and say these coaches can do better than Jose Peseiro? I'm not holding brief for Jose Peseiro, but I just want to hear your own opinion so that we don't just suggest, no, not going to go fetch water for basket, water not go see for loss come out from the stream. So Taiwo, please tell me who are the indigenous coaches? Please, no mention all those the Polo 4 Daniel Gumadede. Don't even talk about it. Okay. Here you are, precious. Say good morning, boss. Good morning to you. There was no sense of urgency in their play until we considered the goal. Perhaps we were underrating them. Perhaps that's what I think. Perhaps we were that these people will go beat them. We could go beat them. We'll go beat them. And we saw it. Noah Turin, my blood. He said to be fair, even if the stadium was a graveyard, we should be dispatching teams like Lesotho, just being brutally honest. And I love your brutal honesty. Yamwan, they my bumble clap. They don't do anything brutal in this part of the world. Yes, faith, light, shine some light on this matter. He said the coach need to leave our national team alone. He is confused. Why Sama Moses is on the bench? Ian should start from the wing. Now, hold on. Wall it. Did we not all agree collectively, that Moses Simon does not know how to cross the ball, that Moses Simon is just dribbling like a headless chicken? How many matches Moses Simon don't play, we will not win? What's this whole Moses Simon on the bench, like say Moses Simon a match winner? Since when? He came on and yes, we had a sense of urgency, but he was wasting our free kick. Kelechi Iheanacho did it. I mean, for me, Kelechi Iheanacho was one of the best players of the day. He helped to create chances. He helped to, he brought some sense of direction. He was more creative than Alex Iwobi or whatever it is. So I don't think that that's the angle you want to come. You're not going to, convince me with that anyway. No, Antonio said, I expected the team to win because our Super Eagles are an average team and Lesotho is clearly below average. But I guess the lads aren't quite aware of what is at stake. They don't go for the jugular. Okay. Olubadun Akimusiri says, I was so annoyed yesterday. I think the coach should be let go after the Nations Cup. Where is Ekong? Okay, the same Ekong that people don't like. I don't understand. Where are the experienced guys? You see, not those same guys that lost out at the last Nations Cup that you guys wanted to kill them. How can you just bring inexperienced guys and leave out the experienced ones? I don't understand. What's going on here? Am I the one that is running out of ideas here? Olubodun went on to say Ronaldo and Messi are still playing at their age. Where is Jesus? Where is Ahmed Musa? How can Nigeria draw with Lesotho? It's a shame. When they follow me, they hear this thing where this Olubodun they talk. So I be now only me just imagine this. Is the figment of my imagination? Hey, the same Musa wall of Nato Semen and then they invite. No. Kilduff say, yeah, we go again with sack or with sack. All those calling for sack. The last sack, we still they link the wood to local coach. I'm laughing. Local coach will not beat a team from Tanzania. Okay, okay. I'm looking at you and I'm laughing. Michael later says, I still find it difficult to know what pattern the coach is trying to play. They say you are as good as your last job. His last job was woeful. No matter how we look at it, we should be beating Lesotho. Well, the same way Argentina should be beating Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia beat them. Shoniba Okbayami says, good morning, Elegote. Good morning. After watching Super Eagles at Bismarck performance yesterday, I can say there is disaster waiting to happen if we eventually don't qualify for the World Cup second time in a row. It will happen and nothing would happen. I will tell you here for free. We would fail to qualify and nothing would happen. You would just cry. The home match, the last home match that the Eagles will play, people will go to the stadium, scatter some things, stone the team bus, and then everybody could go. Matter go end. Super Eagles player will go to Europe, go and sit down in Mikel Obi's podcast and insult all of us and everybody collectively. And then we will not be on social media taking side. Some will take side with the players, some will not take side with the players. That are the couples, the cookies will crumble. That's how the story will end. And then some people will remind you of how these players are better than you, how they make sacrifice for Nigeria, how the Nigerian government, blah, 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 blah. You know, that's all that will happen. I'm telling you, Nigeria is the most predictable country in the world, so don't worry yourself. Okay, let's go to my friend and brother, Johnny Gaffa. He said, I rarely criticize managers, but I will say this. Every Pesero team selection I see worries me. It's like he plays one midfield and loads of attackers. Waka. Johnny Gaffa, waka to you. You're not fair. So Alex Iwobi is not a midfielder. Frank Onyeka is not a oh God. Onyeka is not a midfielder again. Oh, Kelechi Iheanacho is a midfielder as well. He played as a midfielder. Johnny Gaffa, you are evil. Johnny Gaffa, you need to dash me 1 million for this torture that you're torturing me with your comment. Noah Turin, man, talking about 1 million. I really need like 5 million. Wow. I get burial next week. My mother-in-law burial. Go people burial. Okay, yeah. We'll go and do what we can do. Noel Torin, oh wow, you just remind me of Read These and the Weekly Top 40. Amazing show. I used to listen to this every Sunday after church on the drive home. Man, that show was good. That show was good. Let's see you all. Yes, some of the top music that were just coming out. There were 9 million bicycles in Beijing. Daniel Bedingfield, Natasha Bedingfield, all those names just come out of nowhere. Like, oh, what the hell is that? And you go on the internet, you go search for them, get the information where they were born. Like, say, concern you. Man, it is that we concern ourselves for the love of music. You start researching where the person was born, where he went to high school, where he went to. Jesus Christ. Life. What would life be without radio, without media? Shani Bagayami said the NFF needs to do the needful and give us a good coach that can harness the potential of the team, judging by the abundance of talent we have. Okay, Sadiq Yal says, I love Dan Foster. Wait, is it only me or Gwen Stephanie the smoke igbo? Gwendolyn Marcus, the smoke igbo. You're always writing one-liner. You know, Sabi writes plenty comments. You just write one line, you just write one small line. Don't let me conk you for that Abuja. Don't let me, I also tell you now. Don't let me come and conk you for that Abuja. What to write away. No, Tori said perhaps we need to review this abundance of talent narrative. There's never been abundance of talent. I have never agreed with you people. I would never agree. There's no way you can convince me that we have abundance of talent. We do not have abundance of talent. There are so many things lacking in it. We don't have players who can play free kick. There is no time you get free kick 35 to 40 yards from goal and you say, oh, this one guarantee. We not get players when they say if you cross ball into the 18-yard box, you say it's guaranteed they will head out to goal. We not get crosses. White players say out of every 5 crosses, 2 will be danger to the goalkeeper. We not get. So what's the abundance of talent? What is the talent? What is the talent? Play away to dribble past one person and walk. I hard work. Like they run like say all of them get big blockers. Sorry. Sure. I say we get abundance. I've never agreed with that abundance of talent narrative. I don't know who invent them. I don't know which one I listen to, but we've never had abundance of talent. You know, abundance of talent. Players go say, you know what? Forget what the coach thought. In 2012, when Chelsea won the Champions League, was it Roberto Di Matteo that won it? As a matter of fact, Chelsea proved to us that you can use the most terrible coach, in short, the most unqualified coach, just give him a badge, wear him a suit, put him on the bench, and players would win you a Champions League. That's how Chelsea won the Champions League in 2012. That's the reason why Roberto Di Matteo, after that, have never gone anywhere to coach, because there is not a single human being in coach in football that believe that guy can coach. He coach where? Roberto Di Matteo. Come on for it. So these players never even reach the place where they feel say, okay, let's buckle up together, let's come together, let's do it for us. We're not doing it for Nigeria, let's do it for us. Like play, see if you not play for World Cup. Some of this generation of players not play for World Cup. You not even see African Cup of Nations semi-finals. They go play all this one. So what's abundance of talent? We have abundance of average players who are just there. Now guys goalkeepers, the defenders are not there, the midfielders are not there, and we have strikers who can play together, who can come on. Abundance, you don't know what people are saying we're gonna do dictionary for this show. The word abundance of talent, Jesus Christ, that's too much. People like say somebody send you 5,000 naira, you can't say you SMS. I have transferred the fund. Which fund? You give me transfer money when never reach. You transfer which fund? You know what fund is? Fund is when you send money from abroad account to Nigeria account, and the money immediately can buy a house anywhere within the Nigerian metropolis. Then you say that's fund. I send somebody 5K, see you don't send fund. Abundance of which talent? Let's not be using that word abundance of talent again, because I don't agree. Abundance of talent, Mavoyawa. When they not play together, talent when not harmonize themselves, play together, say, look, guys, you know what? Who your wing, my wing. Today, these people, this son in Lesotho will show them who will be. Forget coach. Leave Posero will do Belela will get 4 months pregnancy. Leave out. That's guys. We die here. This one. Street football. You know remember when they play street football with the guy coach? Well, hey you, baby, play 7 years. I don't know cross the ball. Hey you, are you going to score for us? Hey you, defend well, but we die here to do. No carry shape go our street. We win match. And Lesotho now we want coach. Now Lesotho now want to talk tactics pattern. Wow. Hey, my guy, Eddie Dombraye say very, very correct. Then another man always Sabi. It's abundance of which talent? I beg. Shoot. Use abundance of talent. Mona stop him. Taiwo Gunade says, boss, if we didn't sack that mediocre Jose Pesero, we are going nowhere. His only good performance was against Atome. We should get indigenous coach. Morocco did it. Okay, let me name the indigenous coaches you want us to get. Name them. Then Morocco extra them too, if they even match up to Pesero. Because if Pesero no good, you want to get somebody, you need to get somebody better than him. CB Philip 22 say, so bros, what's your take about the match? We drop. That's my take. Today now time to give a take, not my take you want to hear. I don't want to say you start the show with me, you forgot hear my take. You can't come late 1 hour after the show starts because they ask me what's my take. Olubado Akim says we drew with Lesotho bros. Please, it's too early for this. Okay. Herbert says this result from the team is enough for the coach to be sacked if NFF knows what they are doing. Because what I'm seeing, this coach can take the team and can't take the team anywhere. Home base, you are afraid to call them. Bros, this is your write-up. Almost won't give me a headache now. But okay, let's even break it down. Now I'm saying anybody would suggest somebody sack this coach. Suggest the indigenous coach. Dim Anobi says the man Amunike not good enough. More with the honest here. Amunike not good enough. More than they do all this kind of Oyeburu work. Okay. Oyeburu says the team no get cohesion, no coordination, no cooperation. The team is just flat. How many flat? 3-bedroom flat, 2-bedroom flat, 5-bedroom duplex. Which flat? I mean a flat tire. I just want to know. Johnny Gaffa said we didn't lose, so it's not all gloom. I'll be honest though, the South Africa away and even home game scares me. Okay, you don't see what I see now. When I talk about that and I say I don't know what I talk about. We might not qualify. You don't miss out. I don't want us to qualify, but we at this rate we might not qualify. The signs are showing very early. Johnny Gavase, it's like we don't even have home advantage nowadays. No, we really don't have. No, I totally say but really we should not need Osimhen to get this result. These things are painful, but we have to hold these boys to the truth. And then Johnny Gava came and said, this moving around to all stadiums up and down needs to stop. We're not moving around, we're actually playing with you. I mean, how many stadiums we don't play? We'll be honest. Abuja, we came to Abuja because the minister there said he had invested money, Dangote had come to fix the stadium. You have to obey your government. If your government give order, you will obey. I will find out that Abuja is not working, we went back to you. So it's not a problem. You see, all this talk of moving around, people move around. When they were repairing Wembley, England was playing everywhere. They play at Old Trafford today, play at Newcastle Grand Play. They were still winning matches. Not every country. Italy, where be their own ground? Where be Italy home national stadium, their own ground? France, where is their own ground? Not be move around. Not be with Spain, where is the national team home ground? Not be move around, they cause the problem. Now say we not go get players we not sabi. I mean that is one byproduct. Snake bad person and they complain about the leg where they swell up. It go swell up before. How did we get to the point where snake enter person's house? Now that will go solved, but let's go and treat the leg first. And you have to move around. Move around is not a problem. If I move around, because I say we're not going to win away match, because if you go away match too, you are moving around. You're going to different countries to play matches. Then we're not going to expect winnings. No, so it's not even the moving around. Pascal Amize say, I love the enterprising way the Super Eagles play. Okay, they were exciting to watch. The result notwithstanding, I'm impressed with the cohesion in the team. Okay, let's see. I don't get comments. I'm sure you are trying to be sarcastic. You're trying to lure me into saying something. I'm not saying nothing. Statly, that's the name of this person. He said, what actually went wrong in the game against Lesotho? Is this team playing like a united team? Is it United like a Unity or Manchester United? Let me know what you're saying, because the use of United need to be well interpreted. Please, can you explain the coach's tactics based on your knowledge of the game? The coaching tactics was simple. 11 players, get into that field, defend, get possession, put it in the 80-yard box, and score. That was the tactics. That doesn't play well for you. I don't know what plays well again. But let's even talk about, since we're talking tactics now, let's extract the tactics. It was a simple, straightforward 4-4-2 formation. Francis Uzor was in goal. Bright Osai Samuel was on the right-hand side of the fence. Samuel Jaya Kamibasi was center back. Jamilu Collins was there. Now, this is how the coach, from what I saw, this was what the tactics was. The coach expected that Lesotho were not going to press us that high. They were not going to be all up in our faces. So what he did is, Kelechi Iheanacho, as the game progresses, will collapse into the attack and play right directly behind Boniface and Taiwo Awoniyi, while Frank Onyeka and Alex Iwobi. This is what I observe. If I'm wrong, guys, you can correct me. I don't have exclusive knowledge of the game, but I think I know a little. And as Kelechi Iheanacho is driving in to the middle, towards the middle, and aiding the attackers, Bright Osai will not be going on. Because if you look at that game yesterday, you almost think that Bright was a winger and not a defender. And in that regard, Lookman would also collapse into midfield a bit to allow Jamilu Collins to go forward. Okay? So that was the way it was set up. And I don't think that, to be very honest, let's be very honest, we're playing against a team that was also playing the same system with us, okay? But they were more defensive and more focused on making sure, you know how Mourinho would say, if you don't concede, you don't lose games, right? Right. So that was their tactics. But we had all that we could. And then we were also unlucky. Some shots hit the bar. The goalkeeper for South Africa, Umberane, was in the form of his life. I mean, this is Nigeria. You're playing against Nigeria. You want to give a good account of yourself. And then Resetusa, the center back, as well as Mwagnazi, the other guy that was pairing with him, the number 3 and the number 2, the other guy, that guy that scored the goal against Nigeria. I think they both gave a good account of themselves. And I mean, we controlled the ball, the possession, but the ability for Temba Unso, the number 6, the number 22, if I'm not mistaken, those are the guys that played the midfield, as well as that jersey number 18 guy, Sefali, they double padded very well and made it impossible for Lookman. And then there were times where our players chose individuality over the team. Okay, like Ademola Lookman on diverse occasion, Alex Iwobi was dropping too deep, helping to defend, which is not bad. I don't know whether he doesn't have confidence in his defenders, but I thought it was a game that we should be going forward more, pressing forward more, and all that. That's it. I don't think the pattern was bad. We had a bad day in the office. Let's even stay with that and say we had a bad day in the office and move on past it. Okay. Shandida 2020 says he drew with Ghana. Which Ghana? Did Eguavon? The team no get okay. Shandida said Eguavon is better than Pesero. He won all the group game in the AFCON. Okay, Pesero will go to AFCON too and try and win the group game. He drew with Ghana. Now let's compare with Pesero with his result. Well, unfortunately, they don't have the same number of matches. Pesero have not gone to any tournament. He's only played qualifiers. The only qualifiers that Eguavon played, they didn't qualify for the World Cup, whether you like it or not. That's a fact. So anyhow you want to judge it, the result is a draw, but the fact is we didn't qualify. Baba J 619 says, bros, no goalkeepers. Which I don't do again. CB Phillips 22 said, but the coach said they performed well. They had possession of the ball. What do you want him to say? To tell you that they didn't perform well? Obviously, they performed well by his own analysis. Now, your opinion, you want to go take a come off. Okanavo Okpako says, bro, good morning to you. My biggest worry is that our opponent don't need to create more chances before they score us. We are conceding goals too easily, even against supposed minors. I agree with you. That really worries me. Like I said at the beginning of the show, that's my real worry. Like if Nigeria is attacking, we're afraid that we will miss the chance. The goalkeeper will save it. But once they're attacking us, there's always that fear that, well, if this guy just get the chance, if they just get a good, clear shot at goal, he go enter. Okay, so that's my biggest fear. Yeah, me that I might say that match was disappointing to watch. Big Uncle E, why we can't be like we had no urgency and zeal, despite how experienced most of the Super Eagles team members are. Even the coach be like Uno Sabi, because those he subbed in influenced the game better than the starting 11. The squad really missed Osimhen yesterday. Thank God it's Friday. Big Uncle E, thank you very much. If we no fit beat Lesotho, no guarantee we can beat others. Well, football is not like that. Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia, the lowest ranked team at the World Cup, went on to win the World Cup. Spain in 2010 lost their first game at the World Cup, went on to win the World Cup. So I'm not going to sit down there. Topiski Baba say bros Idafi, we not get playing pattern. If it is a way, we go complain say feed no good. Now we dey home waiting be the complaint, and you talk yesterday make we no use today rant. We ended up my rant to the rant, so I saw it coming. I knew that was going to happen. Yes, Tawagonade says we can't beat Zimbabwe. Highest is draw as long as Joseph Pesero is there as national team coach. His best performance was against Satome and Principal. Hey, Jesus Christ. Pascal Amize says, let's not be prisoners of the moment. The Super Eagles played well, and I predict that they would impress and be victorious in future encounters. I agree with you on that one. Additional informer say, Wahala do. We're not sure who we fit beat. Make we take easy. Now the boys will decide if they will write their name in gold. We can't help them. Okay. And then additional informer went on to say, the one we have control of is our BP. Make we not go carry high blood pressure cause of Super Eagles. So that's gonna say Morocco sacked their coach before World Cup and it worked for them. Okay, do you have what Morocco have? No. No, be coach be our problem. The boys need to wake up. Okay, how many times have we sacked our coach and worked? No use Morocco compare Nigeria. The last Nations Cup is an example, or is it 1998 World Cup or 2002 World Cup? We can count more mistakes. Okay, so there are not two scenarios in football that are the same. Taiwo, let me give you a good example. Olise was here. You people say it was too high-handed. He got fired. Who came in next? Somebody came in next. And then we brought in Ganotro. Una say pattern not good. Say now only qualifiers as I do. He got fired. Iguaman came in. Una say, oh, if they play wing, they don't block in wing. You know, Sabi change tactics, not get plan B. He got fired. Now you have Pesero. Oh, Ibelebele Hallelujah band. I agree. I agree with you on that one. But hey, at what point would you now agree that, look, the ingredients not good, not be the chef. The ingredients, so we take the cook, you know, Oyomi, not be the chef who could blame. Moko also look at from that angle. That's just me saying anyway. That was they say Iguaman was way better than this. But you guys didn't say this. You were you not here. We're not gonna talk about the sack Iguaman. They just sack Iguaman. No, talk about the sack Iguaman now. As a matter of fact, I remember people were blaming me that I mean make they give Iguaman the job because I did a video on the coach when they don't already give job. When I said I didn't give Iguaman the job. So not be here now. I'm going to say we have a good person. It just be like Nigerian politics. Oh, Jonathan must go. Jonathan must go. All of a sudden, Jonathan is better than Buhari. Buhari must go. Buhari must go. All of a sudden, Buhari is better than Balablu. Okay, maybe Balablu no better as the next president. Oh. We're not going to see Japa again that time. I just the talk. I just the talk. Balablu people, wanna leave me alone. Supreme Court and what's it called? Tribunal had already decided. I'm just saying it. So you guys were here saying Iguaman should be fired. Don't come here and say, no, what you saw you will wear. You people ask for this, let's have it. So Johnny Gaffa say, I agree, we do overrate this team, but expecting a relatively smooth qualification from this group is not having high expectations at all. I quite agree. But you see, the question is, are the players in tandem with your expectations? Are the players in sync? You know how when we were going to school, we're obviously brilliant. The academic prowess is there. The potential is there. But then your parents want you to be a doctor. And as a person, you don't like blood at all. You don't like blood. But you want to because they are the ones who pay the papa that takes it to. They're the ones paying. And then you're trying to do medicine. The more every time in class, in theater, and you vomit. Like Ugebele, and you be mad. You don't say there is no synergy between you and your parents, and maybe your mind had to go do art. If you draw, even Picasso they learn from you. You understand? Leonardo da Vinci said, "Go call you say, well, give me code now, give me drawing code." But your parents want me to be doctor. And similar to what is happening here. Most players that want to play for Super Eagles, they are playing in the local league. They are, they don't get a chance. Those ones where their real ambition now to play for either England, Italy, Spain, Germany. But then the desire is not available. The available becomes a desire. For them, the will to die on the job in no day. These ones, if they truck pop off to the direction of a grenade, they go run, they go escape. Because to them, this is not their first calling. This is just the medicine that their parents, their people are forcing them to do. The real calling what they get, not be this one. This is my own thought too. This is me just using like in the way Jesus does it. Using parable to explain the problem of the Super Eagles. Okay, but let's go. Johnny Gama said, let me just lower my expectations and prepare to lose away to South Africa and salvage a last-minute home draw with them. Jesus Christ, this is even worse. Johnny Gaffa, you are not. Johnny Gaffa, no. You are not. You are not doing fine. You are not. You're not fine. You're not a nice person at all. Me and you will chat privately. This Noetori said this Lesotho team. Noetori, I told you to chat me up on my DM the other day. I wanted to ask you something about Juventus. I don't even forget stuff. This Lesotho team literally surrendered possession to us. It was ridiculous and still nothing positive happened. Lookman needs to really check himself, and his sad side note was how rusty Aribo look. They play ball since now, so why give him a chance to play? It doesn't even make sense as far as I'm concerned. But hey, it is what it is. Lieutenant Colonel, but that's a very high rank. You guys were lucky to have had the draw. You beat Satome 10-0 and bragged that your coach is the best under the sun. Now, what has changed? Your useless Super Chickens are out of the World Cup so fast. This guy obviously is not a Nigerian. Obviously, it's not a Nigerian. Wherever he's coming from, it's fine. But now these are the kind of guys that makes me summon the gods, the powers, and then point out. But let me just chill. Let me just chill because we deserve the insult. Lieutenant Colonel, thank you very much. We deserve it. We brought this upon ourselves. So, as my people go talk, now first way for I make good climb better compact on shop person yam. If first not for Lieutenant Colonel not go there. If we don't beat Lesotho like 7 goals to nothing, this conversation not go there. But hey, days like this are very, very important. It makes you wiser. Wale Fatumbi says everything we are doing wrong in Nigeria, from Aso Rock to the NSC, NFF, this is how Nigeria wasted generations of great players because of bribery, corruption, egotism, tribalism, greed, and wickedness. Hold it. Wale, please, you have made some strong allegations here. I need you to explain. Where is the bribery, the corruption, the egoism, tribalism, greed, and wickedness in this equation? Please expatiate and give us proper facts and not just assume. Asheru Ibrahim says Super Eagles just spoiled people's mood yesterday. And then Wale shows up again. Fatumbi says Nigeria has no coach, no NFF, ex-Nigerian players should be at the administration. I've been saying this for decades, same as ex-players have been saying it. All the ex-players that you have mentioned, no one is good enough to even be in charge of a local government sports council. I beat my chest to say it. Wale, if that's what you are suggesting for Nigeria, you are worse than the people that are there right now. Let's start with the ex-international, because I like to hear people talk about this ex-international, because me, I have ammunitions to fight this fight and win. I am Putin and you are Zelensky here. I don't need prayers to win this fight. Kind of one question in charge of Enyimba is leading them to doom. Okocha ran Delta State football for 4 years. They are still suffering the effect. My point here, please, there is no ex-international that is qualified. Look at the rest of the world. Not ex-international, they run their football. Even the ones where if FIFA president is ex-international. John Avalanche is regarded as the all-time best FIFA president ever. He never played football. Followed by Sepp Blatter, he never played football. So what really is the whole ex-international thing? If you are one of those who is still stuck up to this ex-international, they are the most, Nigerian ex-footballers are the most disgusting, most stupid group of people in our football stratosphere. So don't even mention them, because when you come there, you bring out the real element to me. Nigerian ex-footballers are shit. And I'm not saying it because, I want to insult them, but it is the truth. Now you should point out to me what they've really done. I mean, football administration is not about play football. Football administration is about business. And show me one business that this ex-international have run that represent what you will now say, okay, you're qualified to run national team. To run the National Football Federation, you must be a business person, a person who can call an airline and say, we need your plane and we will raise you 350 million to go to Rwanda, and they will give you a charter flight. The business acumen, the ability to sit in boards and tell them, these are the reasons why you should put 10, 15, 20, 30 million dollars into the sponsorship of the national team, because this is the mileage, this is the data, this is statistics, these are the facts on the table that guarantees that if you put your money here, we'll give you XYZ mileage and we'll give you this much sales in return. But we don't have any ex-internationals that can do that. So don't come here and talk about ex-international. The ex-internationals are failing. First off, because of how much they are failing, that's why we have charlatans running our football. So don't tell me that we need ex-international. They don't get appointed in their state as sports commissioner. Abia State appointed Karibo Jigwe as their sports commissioner. Please tell me, how did that even improve Abia State? Abia State as a sports enclave, right? Tell me what progress, policy-wise, or direction, even youth sports competition that they do, how did that impact Abia State? But there are people who did not kick football, does not know the size, the diameter, the circumference of a football, who have been appointed, and they've done relatively well. So my brother, Wale, you might have your agenda, but your agenda is not agending on this one, because wait there, so I can stand this one. If the agenda come like a mighty Russian wind, my spirit will raise the standard against it. Our ex-internationals are shit. They are good enough for playing friendly matches, novelty matches, and shaking their laughing and talking rubbish in front of politicians. That's what they have set themselves up to do. Look at some of the best football clubs in the world that are being run today. Who's running them? Why is it that our retired player, nobody's calling them to come out? Listen, if our players are good, they will be in the place to run it. Saudi Arabia, just what's it called? Michael Emenala was at Chelsea for 10 years. We see the work that he did. Saudi Arabia have not picked him. Of all the people in the whole world, they picked Michael Emenala because he's good. So in the Nigerian setup, if the ex-internationals are good enough, they will be picked. But I disagree with you, my brother. They are not good enough. We might be down in the gutters, but don't add more problem. There's no ex-international that can do anything. Look at the Imba. In 2023, we're playing with a match with a jersey number. Kanwako is a chap. Please stop. Ashuri Ibrahim said, boss, have to insert Tottenham Hotspur. Yes, now they're always there. Now. They have to be there. They're shitty like that. So anything that's shitty, Tottenham Hotspur. Instance, they say 4-4-2 without good midfielders and wide players. This coach is not serious. Wale says, in Germany, only ex-players of the national team are all at the end of the affairs of the German national team. You see the thing about when people give example, they give a very, very wrong and unparalleled example, an example that does not match. Germany have a system that works. I just came back from Germany. Germany have a system that works. Germany is like America. America, for instance, have had two of the stupidest presidents ever, or three: Obama, Donald Trump, and this imbecile that is there now. But they have a system that works, so it doesn't even affect them. They have a Biden that is looting money to Ukraine unnecessarily, but the system is working. You're not going to use Germany to measure Nigeria. First off, the ex-internationals that are in Germany running their football, finish their football, went to school, go and earn the certificates, the degrees, the qualification to qualify them to run the system that they have. They got their training. All your ex-international in Nigeria, how many of them have gone to get a training? And how many of them have shown it in any way? You think that the clubs that they also played for are foolish, that they will know that these Nigerians are qualified, but they're not picking them to come and do the business for them. The truth of the matter is they are not qualified. So let's not bring this, oh, yeah, in Germany, no, yeah, in Germany. Yes, Germany is good, but it is what it is. They have this infrastructure, the facilities that support it. We don't have. I was at the Olympic Stadium in Munich, just 2 weeks ago. And that stadium was built exactly the same time the National Stadium Surulere is built. Nobody uses it again in Germany because Bayern Munich have moved to the Alliance Arena. But it's still in proper shape that even the Uyo Stadium that was built recently. My point here is, in a place where systems work, you can't compare it to places where systems don't work. That's one. Two, our ex-footballers, once they retire, they stop learning, they stop growing, they stop desiring to be in charge. Power is not given, it is wrestled. If you want something so bad, you put yourself in position, you train, you prepare yourself, and then you seize it. That's how the world have been designed from time immemorial. So I really don't care what you say. Right now, we have Finidi George as the manager of AIMBA. We have Kanwako as the chairman. Let's be patient with them and let's see what they can do with that team. But from what we're seeing right now, the team is good at. Did you read the Finidi George interview? If that is what an ex-international can do, because Kanwako is the chairman and everything he was saying in that interview is indictment of Kanwako, it tells you the gross level of incompetence. If that happens in Germany, as a matter of fact, Olivier Kahn did not do half of that before he got fired from Bayern Munich. If that happens in that Germany that you're saying, Kanwako would have been fired. But he's still there. You know why? It's a political appointment. He didn't get the appointment because he was qualified. And then once the ex-players also know that what they need is a political appointment, they will not even do well. That's just the basic truth. Like it or not, we are in the premise of telling each other the truth. Let's tell the ex-international that you are rooting for the truth as well. And then he went on to say, for Nigeria, now bloody civilian, don't call anybody bloody civilian. You're not a military man. Even if you are a military man, we have reached a place where such kind of unreasonable comment will go out of your mouth. In Germany, now military, they run the place. Is it not the same civilians that are running it? So what's the bloody civilian talk? Sometimes when you say these things, you don't know that it's an indictment on you as a person than the people that you think you are trying to push. Okay? Again, when you talk about Ole Barao people, please put down facts. Don't just say things because, oh, it feels good to say things. When Nigeria doesn't win, it is easy to get angry. You see, maturity is what you do when you're angry, how you react, how you say things, your use of words and language when you're angry. It's how people know that you're mature. Yeah, it's easy to throw tantrum and to mention things, to say things. But if they're not backed by fact, you're as worse and as terrible as they are. So let's take one of the example that you gave, okay? Because me too, I like to give people fair hearing. So that is for your show, you need to want to listen to the other side. Now, if we had a good NFF, a coach befitting the talent we have, we will be unbeatable. Nigerians in the 60s dazzled England. Today, we have mad people running our beloved country. So let's stick with fact first. How did we dazzle England in the system? Please come to the conversation with fact. Nigeria have never beaten England. As a matter of fact, England pride themselves to say no African team have ever beaten them. And when they played against Cameroon at the World Cup and they almost got beaten and then they won on penalties in 1990, they came back from the World Cup, arranged a friendly and give Cameroon the beating of their life. Same way, okay? The best result that African teams have gotten against England was in the 2002 World Cup. Nigeria played a draw with England. So I don't know where you're coming from with your argument, but let's take the last one. Wallace says Finidi George Kanu combined with Okocha, with men like Amokachi on board, they will play better Nigerian football. Now let's start with Amokachi because I like to deal with fact. Amokachi was given a chance to run the national team under 23, the Super Eagles. You know what he did? He went to go and buy wristwatch. Yes, he's my friend, but let's stick with facts. I like dealing with facts. Wristwatch, you know, Swatch wristwatch that they sell 500 naira. He came and he was forcing the Nigerian national team players to buy it. All the Victor Moses, Mikel, you can go and ask them. These are facts. To buy it for $5,000. If you don't buy it, you don't get invitation. Yes, that's the Amokachi that you are talking about. That's the Amokachi you are calling. Okocha was the chairman of Delta State Football Federation Association for 4 years. You know what? They told him to resign and leave. If not, he will be impeached. To save his image, he had to. Because for 4 years, the FA was dead. That's the Okocha you're talking about. Now let's go to Kanawako. Kanawako ran a football club called Papilo FC. He ran it aground. Now he's running Eyimba again. God save the Queen, as they say in England. God save Eyimba. Finidi George, I've been the coach of Eyimba. Now this is his third season. He won the league last season. But again, of all the 9 titles that Eyimba have won, and Finidi George is my bros. So this is not me hating on him. Finidi George is one of the most respected person that I know in this whole football landscape. It's not one guy that I can shit on. His legacy is high to the heavens. But guess what? Of all the titles the 9 titles that Eyimba have won, last one that they won is one of the worst run of play. The quality of play is terrible. They were on the continent this season, and we saw, and he came out and gave his excuse, which are valid. So I hold that against Kanawako. But Finidi George is the coach of Eyimba. About 20 players were registered, only 4 you are aware of. In other words, 16 players are registered in a team that you are the manager and you are not aware of them, and you're still sitting there. A good coach would work. That's just the truth. So if that's the thing you're offering Nigeria, my dear, you are also as bad as the problem. You are just as bloody civilian as the people that you are yabbing. That's just the truth. You may not agree, but your suggestions are shitty. Now let's go to Adeoye Oluwaseun with Mr. Elevator. Shame no they catch our players. Even without coach, I don't think we should struggle with teams like Lesotho. No, that's the part I will not agree with you. The thing about smaller teams, if you know football, if you play football, and it starts with when you were playing youth football. Have you ever played football and then there was this one team that is really organized and then they arrange you and go play against them? You know how that's going to be. When a small team is playing against a big team, they know that the media is on this team. These are biggest opportunities to shine. Everybody is on alert. It's like when you lose one of your senses, your eye or your ear or your hand, the rest of your body will compensate more. That's what happens in football. That's why Saudi Arabia beats Argentina but couldn't beat the other 2 teams, got knocked out in the group stage. The same Argentina went on to win the World Cup. So it's not a big deal. We've seen that before. Now, it's not new that smaller teams beat bigger teams. I disagree. Yes, we can, all say all this lack of coordination and all that, which is fine. But there is no static saying in football that says, or rule that says, when a big team plays against a small team, they must win. Comoros beat Ghana at the last African Cup of Nations 3-2. Ghana picked up a red card and the rest of them. That's football. Football is anybody's game. You can win, you can lose. I mean, Argentina was on a 52 games, they've won 51. You know, the only team they lost to Saudi Arabia of all the opponents that they played against. So sometimes you could lose to anybody. It could be a one-off. It's now when it continues. We go to play Zimbabwe again and we lose, and then we go play Rwanda, we lose, then it becomes a real problem. You start asking questions like, come on, this is not what's supposed to be. But I'm not going to buy into that, oh, Lesotho na football team, we can win them. Not to say, I must admit, I see Boniface as a more complete player than Osimhen. We've always agreed on that, but he appears to fall short on the crucial element of a striker. Positioning. Osimhen has this part locked down. Okay, so that's what makes the two of them different. Yemi Dana might say, Uncle E, does Moses Simons, senior Kelechi in the national team? I asked because I noticed the change of captain band when he came on. I think, I'm not really sure, but I have to check the fact, but I think he came in before Kelechi Iheanacho. Kelechi Iheanacho came in after under 17. So Moses Simon had already made the team then. Taiwo Ogunade says, Emmanuel Amunike, Ulisse, Seyi Olofinjana are better coaches. First off, Seyi Olofinjana is not a coach. You are just assuming, and this assumption is what doesn't work. Sondoli said that you're talking about was given the chance for the national team. All of you who are now again saying Ulisse should take the job were the ones who said he should be fired. I remember I was still in Brilla then. Every caller, he should be fired. He doesn't have respect. His ego is too much. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. He was fired. So now bringing Sondoli again into the conversation, it's like, I don't know what's going to talk. Let's talk about Emmanuel Amunike. Emmanuel Amunike won the under-17 in Chile. Fantastic. The following year, he couldn't qualify. And then since then, he's been bouncing around. Emmanuel Amunike have been fired more times than any other Nigerian coach anywhere on the planet. So it doesn't also rub himself with glory. And so mentioning him here, it was part of the team that didn't qualify for the World Cup. He was brought in to back up the coach. We didn't win a single game. So I don't know where you're dancing this dance to, but it seems like every names that you guys have chosen to mention today, they don't have it. Wale again showed up and he says Nigerian coaches won 4 FIFA under-17 youth championship against youth players already playing European leagues. Nigeria did well at under-20 with little support from the government. So let's translate that into a real proper conversation. Of this World Cup that you're talking about, everyone that we went to and won, we use overage players. Let's use fact. So those Nigerian coaches are lazy. Let's not sit here and play. You know, the way you're having a conversation, the one way sweet to you, put that for front. Then you forget the whole fact behind it. We use overage players to win those tournaments. Dele Ajiboye was the best goalkeeper against David De Gea. Where are they today? Chrysanthus Macaulay not play football after that. And we've been doing that since forever. Osondu was signed as a baby, was a young boy, young African Maradona, young boy. He went to Europe, they gave him food where they did young people. He not play football, he give fat for waste. Are you ready for that conversation? Because if you want to talk truth, talk the whole truth. Don't talk the truth to favor your side of the narrative, so that we don't go dance naked in public places. I'm not a newbie in this job. I've been following football since 1986. Are you really sure you want to have this conversation, Wale? Because there is no wing where you go follow come. Why not go checkmate you? So we don't waste time. You don't see, there is nothing, no argument you can make for our ex-international that work for them. I'm just telling you, because you're bringing it to the wrong court. So that in whatever I was growing up, there is a court called Court 4 in Ajamoga. When the woman was growing up, she was serially raped, according to the story. She made it to law school, went to go study law, became a judge. You see, in a court, if they catch you stealing gala, and they take you to that court, and the person now say you attempted to rape somebody, you're going to jail for life. The fact will not favor you. This ex-international that you are trying to measure in this court, it not go favor you, not go work. You know why? I don't hate them, but they've not done well. And one of the things that I do not roll with in my life space is to use lie to embellish stories so that it be good. I don't play the diplomatic card, diplomatically correct. No, it's a Friday. Let's end the week very well. We drew against Lesotho. Agreed. I'm not a pro per se. I'm not one of those who supported him, but this is my position in coaching, and I've always stand here. When you have a coach, support a coach until the day you decide to fire him. And when you want to fire him, put all the cards on the table. What is the worst thing that we have here? We have a government that does not believe in sports. We just had a minister that left, and people say, oh, the government set up, the minister set up the new LMC and the rest. No, they cut off Shehu Diko because Shehu Diko will not bow to what he wants. And then we have this new LMC. But has anybody settled down to ask, the money that was approved by government to support the league, where's the money? But that same minister today is setting up a TV station. Where did he get the money from? That's a conversation we need to ask. Again, you look at these whole players. In politics, if I want to give you something, I negotiate for something. It's normal in the US, in Europe, where it's called the lobby, the principle of lobby. So if you need something from me, I'm going to ask you, if I give you this, what are you going to give me in return? That's why the NRA, the National Rifle Association, controls who gets into power. They don't allow somebody that will get into power and vote against gun to get into power, whether at legislative level, at Supreme Court level, at presidency. You have our players go to Tinubu, go to Peter Obi, go to Atiku during the campaign. Please, Wale, I want to ask you this question. So there is times when we're joking, and then there are times when we're serious. Please, what did they negotiate for? What did our players ask for? Look at the whole appointment. Even Tinubu appointed people who were insulting him during the NSAS campaign, the tech guys. Because tech people went in, lobbied, and said, look, if you become president, give us this office. They got it. Please tell me what our ex-players lobbied for. I am so insignificant in the conversation, but for 12 years, I fought for the separation of the Ministry of Youth and the Ministry of Sports. I will finally got it this year. My question to you, because when you say these things, you tell me what happens in Germany. In Germany, there are lobby groups. Our ex-international form a block of people who have traveled abroad, who have exposed themselves, who have seen, who have heard, who have read. In all of their learning, even Bible says, study to show yourself a workman that need not to be ashamed. In all that gettings, get wisdom. So in all of those learnings, traveling, exposure, and the things that they've seen abroad, they came back. They have access to presidential candidates of all parties. What did they negotiate for? That so much so that after elections, the president made his cabinet and one ex-international does not even get an essay. Essay in sports, it doesn't get. Does it not tell you that they are stupid people? Does it not tell you where did you see when the tech people went to go and visit Tinubu? Did you see it on video? It was only ex-players that you saw praying, shouting that Nigeria should release his vote from the four corners of the country to them. Taribo West was there praying. Kanwako was there laughing. They were there. These are the creme de la creme of the ex-internationals. Now ask yourself, if they were not stupid, and I'm not in the habit of insulting people for nothing, but let's call a spade, because you want to bring them to the conversation that they don't even deserve to be mentioned in. What did they negotiate for? What did this ex-international negotiate for? They just negotiate to collect $10,000, which is chicken feed, so that they will go and feel good. You know how much that means? They're selling their own industry. And now you have a guy who doesn't know jack as a minister of sports. And in that circle, in that pool of 33, 40 players who went to play novelty matches for different people, some even went to play for Yahaya Bello. These are the guys you want me to sit down and listen to you talk about. See, this ex-international conversation should stop. And if you want to have the conversation, you can take it to any other radio, any other place, but don't bring it to my platform. Because every time you bring it, I'm going to remind you of the stupidity, the things that they've done. Again, give ex-internationals this job. The same ex-international will gang up to make sure the guy who is in power fails. Who gets it? Now, simple things as coaching job. Sasa was allegedly accused of match fixing. There were no proof. Okay, he made his own mistake, he didn't check his email, blah, blah, blah. That's what they use against him because the law says ignorant is not an excuse. Okay, how many ex-international rally around to say, you know what, let's use our block, our power, because injustice to one is injustice to all. Let's use our power block to negotiate and get this guy out of the hook. No, you go in pocket places, they are all happy, they are all celebrating. that one of them he's always feeling like he's the best. He always feel like saying I ain't no pass. He get hooked. But what they don't realize is that not themselves that they do those things to. That's where we stand. Those are the people you want to come around our football. No. I rather have these people, these politicians, run the football. They will make mistakes, but I rather have them because history tells me they'll be more successful. They've run our football one Olympic gold. They've run our football one under 17 5 times. They won 4 or 5 times. They've run our football one the Nations Cup 3 times. I would rather trust them than entrust it to people who are serious failures. There's an interview I did with Edema Faludu, and he said something that resonates well. He said the reason why footballers in Nigeria can never run football successfully is that Nigerian footballers have had everything done for them from when they were playing amateur football. From the ball that they play, the boots that they buy for them, the buses that they used to go to matches, then they go to pro, the vehicle, the accommodation, their flight is taken care of. And then when they retire, they don't even set up any business. They don't know how to do anything. And almost everyone who tried to do a business go into failure because they don't understand. How can you not trust them to go and run a football business at state or national level? And this is a fact. This is coming from an ex-football player who played as well as high as winning the Nations Cup. You want me to believe you or believe them? I've sat down. I mean, if you've not seen my podcast, I've sat down with some of the best guys who play football for this country. I've sat down with every name you've mentioned here. I've sat down with them either in campaigns or in committees or in meetings. And I've sat down and I've sat across the table. We're having a conversation. These guys don't know jack. Yes, they have one gift that's gone for them, a brand name that will make brands do business with them. But when it comes to running a business, my dear, they don't know jack. I've helped a player, one of the biggest players, I'm not going to mention his name, who agreed to take $5,000 for a job that is entitled to $500,000. And I sat down across the table and I negotiated for $500,000. I know go Harvard Business School. I don't have the kind of brand or power that they have, but they don't. And I'm saying this for free. They don't. So don't mention, when you mention them, you bring out the bile in my stomach and it pisses me off. Because again, some things do not even need conversation. The evidence of their work will show. Neymar is not the federation president in Brazil. Neymar have an institution. Force the company, Nike, that was sponsoring him, and then Puma later, to build an institution for 5 minutes drive away from Sao Paulo. I've been there. And that place employs over 450 people in Brazil. That's the power of influence. That's when you say, okay, this guy tomorrow, if he wants to become FA president, people will listen. LeBron James have a school in Akron, in Ohio. When I see those ones, tell me what una ex-international they do on ground will be evidence to show say they even know what they talk. Don't come and tell me here they should run a football. You know what it means to run a football. To run a national, the FA, let me tell you, to be FA president, you're going to negotiate business meetings. You're going to go there and speak. People will listen to you. That's one. Two, you're running 11 teams, men, women, B soccer, under 17 and all that. You're running those teams. Beyond that, you're traveling, you're talking to different FAs, you're holding meetings, you're doing presentations. You're just saying, hello, my country people. That you want to run it, you want to run Nigeria FA. Please. Don't push my anger this morning. Talk of Greg Dyke, which ball he play? Let's talk about England. The people where they run the English FA. How many football they play? Why they not say they carry the English football, give Gary Lineker or Alan Shearer or what's it called? Paul Gascoigne or Gary Neville? Why they not carry the football, give them a run? It's not about being an ex-football player. It's about knowing what to do. When you wear that business suit, it's about sitting up and saying, you know what? I'm going to be able to make calls that matters. I'm going to be able to take decisions. I'm going to be able to walk into 10 Downing Street or in Nigeria. I'm going to be able to walk to Aso Rock and walk into the National Assembly and present a bill and get the Committee on Sports to push it, because I would have lobbied every state FA in Nigeria, 36 of them plus Abuja, and get them to lobby their constituency and force the guys in these committees to make sure they pass a bill that helps us to function well as a country. These are the ways that sports are developed in advanced countries. These are the ways that people stand up and do things. So we're not going to sit here and just say, oh, let's bring which ex-international? Ex-international, the shop off. See, it's about 2 hours on the show today. And most times we like to come to this show and play. But one of the things that I do not do is somebody show up and try to abuse my collective intelligence, right? Somebody coming here to sound like they know when they don't know and make it look like we don't even know what we're saying. I've been on this job long enough, and I'm going to say to you here that don't, as a Nigerian, it's a shame on you as a person. Anytime you say, let's give ex-international a chance to run our football. I'm not saying it because I hate them. I'm saying it because they are just not qualified. You are as bad as anybody who is really in this country. If you sit where you are and say, give, see, power, again, I'm going to say, it's not giving, it's wrestled. You strategically, deliberately, and intentionally set up. If we talk about numbers, the ex-internationals have the numbers, and then one of the keyest factor have the influence more than the politicians or these states, these guys who we see as charlatans. But guess what? Not being able to use the numbers and the influence that you have is like when somebody gives you a check of $1 million, but you don't even know how to go to the bank, sign your name on it, and cash the check. The check is going to be there. You will suffer. You might even die of a lack of things that check, the money on the check will solve. And that's exactly what the ex-internationals have done. They've not managed to harmonize themselves. They've not been able to harness the influence that they have in the smallest of ways. Do you know that our league, as small as this league is, 4 months ago, I sat with Spotify, sat in a meeting. I jumped into a meeting in Sweden, sat with Spotify, and they were willing to put in $20 freaking million on the league until their home office in Nigeria told them no, that Nigerian league does not have the numbers, which we agree, but they were willing, they were on the verge of signing the dotted line $20 million. Now, this is me. I'm a bloody nobody who have just 12,000 subscribers on YouTube. I was able to even sit in that meeting, broker that meeting, and let it happen, right? Get a hearing, we sat down, we did that meeting. Now, pause for a minute. Just pause for a minute. You know what it would mean if Okocha was the one sitting on that meeting? $20 million will come from Europe into Nigeria. Do you know the changes that it would do? People always say that Nigerian league is not growing. You know why Nigerian league is not growing? Every league in the world that is growing, the money that the organizers put in makes it possible for them to control how the league is run. So if you bring in $20 million, you can tell each club how they should run, how they should dress, what they should do. Until the English FA started bringing in the money from Sky B, which is Sky Sports, Rupert Murdoch, Sky Sports, BBC, ITV, BT Sports, they couldn't tell the clubs how to design their stadium, how to design their ground, what underground heating system was. I grew up, a big part of my life was in the UK. Back in the day, the stadiums, the English football was called the game of the hooligans because it was a club that was doing everything. But when these guys, when the David Dean and the rest came together and they set up what was called the Premier League, Rupert Murdoch put up that money that he needed to, and they started lobbying government to change policy to favor the business, it changed. So these players have played in this league. They've seen it happen. It is people that also lobbied in Germany, the Germany that you're talking about, for the 50+1 to happen. And what brought about it? Germany won the World Cup in 1990, and the German government, the German people said, the major actors of this World Cup win are playing in foreign league. It's going to be a problem in the future. We have to raise our league because this will inspire every German child to want to go and play abroad, and then our league would die. And then they invented the 50+1 rule. Well funded and backed by ex-players, the Franz Beckenbauers of this world and the rest. They pursue the agenda. The government agreed to it, and you have what you have. You're talking about Germany. Let's stay with Germany a bit and see what it has turned out to be for German football. So my question to you: when was the last time you heard that a bill? Because if you want to follow your country fully. When was the last time you heard that a bill was sponsored by an ex-footballer in Nigeria? I mean, they not come from constituents. They not come from local government area. They not come from states. So within your right, because you come from that region, you can walk into the office of your councillor. You can walk into the office of your local government chairman. First off, if I want to go see Sanwo-Olu today, I will need to follow all protocols to get access. If Okocha wants to see Sanwo-Olu, it's a phone call. Hey, Mr. Governor, I want to see you. They will roll out the red carpet. Now, the question is, what are you doing? Go back to your Bible days. One woman have access to the king. He freed a whole nation. Her name is Esther. In that whole book of Esther, the name of God was not mentioned. But they showed us how politics works. One woman have access, and he freed an entire nation that was set up to be hung and killed. Now, before you fight for this ex-international, the question I ask you is, all this access that they have, they can go sit down with president, incoming president, outgoing president. Please tell me, what have they used the collective power of bargaining to do for our football? So don't mention these names, people who Jesus Christ, whose middle name is greed, that worse than 419, and you're telling me that they are the ones that will run our football. Please put them in charge now. So guess to be big ears and big breasts you will see for the national team camp and the players. What are we saying? Are we having this conversation like I am ignorant or I don't know what is happening in the national team? Please, guys, sorry for my ranting, and if I didn't read your message, I am sorry. We've got to round up now, but please don't come on this platform and make case for people who are even the worst thing that ever happened to our football. My name again is Idafimati. It's some days it's got to be like this. So nobody should be angry. It's just got to be like this. But we need to put an end to certain kind of conversation that does not need to be mentioned. Because when people come out and say these things, I just ask myself, like, are you really serious? Or because you're eating easy food, using free systems in Germany? This is the Germany that you enjoy. You know what I'm saying? People fight to make a bill like that. You think it just happened? The railway system and the road system just grow from ground. They plant seed and they just grow. No, people fought for it to happen. If you want our football to grow, the people who should be there should be there. It's easy to be on social media like this and call people Ole Barao. No, it is strategy that changes nation. It is deliberate, intentional act that changes nations. And if war unto a nation whose men of influence and affluence refuse to use their power, and if these players who have played to the very highest level refuse to use their power, then we will be ruled by the sons of slaves who don't know anything. Let's keep it there. Let's keep it like that. Have a wonderful day and an amazing weekend. Bye-bye.